Hi guys, Raj here from Trading College. Just looking at some medium to short-term charts on what's been going on this week and a bit of context of what potentially we might be looking out for next week. So you can see the first one I've got up is crude oil, so WTI. I've got obviously three time frames up: weekly, daily, and the hourly here. I'll be focusing on the shorter one in a minute, but let's just start off with the daily, and you can see we've got some downside PTS targets here at the moment, and it looks like we're about to roll over on our storyteller indicator to give us a negative momentum trigger in line with the direction of the PTS, which is obviously facing south at the moment. Now, there has been some fundamental news on this market. Joe Biden, the president in the US, has said that they will release some strategic petroleum reserves, and it looks like it's had an impact on the market over the last few days because we've seen a bit of a move away from this uptrend. We need to confirm whether this is going to be to the downside, and I think this U-shaped target, N-shaped target here to the downside at around 92.40, around that mark, will probably be the first one that want to be keeping an eye on. If we do extend beyond that, then these other two targets could come into play. But a very interesting market at the moment considering what's going on fundamentally. Let's stick with commodities and look at gold. Gold has been slightly choppy this week. You can see that here. We're sideways. We're in the middle of the moving averages. And on the hourly chart as well, we're in the middle of the moving averages. This is kind of an area in which you want to stay away from. On the higher time frames, on the weekly, we are above and we are still in an uptrend. You can see that with the storyteller looking up as well. But, you know, we really want to focus on a bit of clarity in this market before looking at it and before entering it at the moment. Away from that, copper, although it's had a move down recently, so you can see on the day now we're down 0.90%. It's actually been performing very well. I'm just going to get rid of some of my objects. It's actually been performing very well with the PTS system. We've hit target number 1. Hopefully longer term we can stretch up and go for target number 2 and target number 3. So it's been a really good move since the last momentum trigger, which I don't know whether you remember me mentioning it. I did in one of these videos, which was around here. So a really strong move up. I think there was a lot of profit taking there. I know a few people in the live trading room have come out of this market already, but it's retraced back and it looks like it's heading off again. Now, a good market that has really been working well for the people in the live trading room is this one. So it's natural gas. This is the last pro trading system long with the momentum trigger long when they coincided with each other. And you can see it was a really nice, smooth moving trade. We've met the first PTS targets, which came here. They came out around here. And then we got a new PTS initiated here. And it looks like we could be heading to target number 3 on this one too. So pretty decent market. Now, over to the stock markets. And let's start off with the S&P 500. S&P 500, this momentum trigger PTS has worked quite nicely. Hit target number 2. Target number 3 is a long way away. So we have to be patient for that one. But we got a few things in the way, really, if I'm honest with you. We got this resistance zone here. Let's put that in, that we're back underneath. And then obviously this kind of double top target at the all-time highs as well could be somewhere where we could see a bit of stickiness too. So keep an eye on that. On the downside, there are some key support levels as well. Not to mention, I think this area, whole area here, looks very congested, looks very strong. That's about 4,400. But if we do see a retracement, I think 4,500, we could be potentially looking at holding over the next couple of days. So keep an eye on that. So early next week. Away from that, the FTSE100, that has been performing very well. One of the best performing stock indices, and you can see here, since we've had the momentum trigger, a really strong move up. This is why the momentum trigger is my favorite strategy, and you can see we're very close to hitting that target there as well. So looking pretty good on across the board now in FX and in stocks, in commodities and in stocks. Let's look at FX. That's why I said it, because it was on my mind. Let's go and see downside movements here in euro dollar. Obviously, you can see here, this is a really strong negative trend, right? We've had a good move up now. We've got this positive momentum trigger. Remember, that doesn't mean we have to go long. What I would be looking for is the new downside PTS targets and the new downside momentum trigger on the storyteller indicator. That's what I would be looking for, the downside, because remember, we're still underneath these big moving averages and we're still focusing down, making lower highs, lower lows in the trend. GBP USD is much of the same. Very much a downtrend still, and you can see these downside profit targets are getting met on like a daily basis. Actually, you know, they're really selling off really strong. Look at this PTS here. I'm just going to highlight where that was and how quickly this would have made targets. So that red PTS color change there, and it had a really strong move down. It had a negative trend predictor in the middle as well, with a negative momentum trigger here. It's, everything was bearish for the pound at that stage, and it really just took a few days to hit its target to the downside. So that's another great move. On the flip side, the big story in the FX markets has been this dollar yen. This has been moving up like nobody's business. I pointed out this PTS and this momentum trigger in one of the last videos. I think it was a couple of weeks ago over the weekend, and you can see how quickly that has met targets, and it's done extremely well. So we've had some really good trading conditions for our systems and our strategies. It's all been going really well. Remember to try and attend our live events as well, and our Learn to Trade online events and things like that. And we'll be posting these videos every so often. So if you do have any questions about any of the strategies or how we come up with any of these trades, just let us know and we'll be happy to help. Hopefully I will speak to you soon.